Namaskar. I'm Suruchi and you're watching Ritam News. The Syrian conflict, already marked by years of devastation, has reached a new peak after Russia launched its airstrikes that killed 300 insurgents following the fall of Aleppo, a Syrian city, to Turkish-backed groups. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, a former al-Qaeda faction, staged a surprise offensive, capturing Aleppo in mere days and threatening the Syrian government's hold on either regions like Hama. These developments mark a significant blow to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, who's now struggling to stabilize his regime amidst minimum support from his key allies like Russia and Iran. The rapid advance of HTS and other terror factions has left the Assad regime scrambling, as for the first time in the conflict, the groups reportedly took control and flew military helicopters abandoned by the Syrian army, further boosting their terror reign. Over 200,000 Syrian Kurds, the ethnic minority, have been left besieged in the Aleppo region by Turkish-backed factions, raising fears of massacres, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. While Assad has relied heavily on Russian and Iranian support since the civil war began in 2011, both allies now face significant distractions. Russia's resources are stretched thin due to this prolonged invasion of Ukraine, while Iran is preoccupied with Israel's retaliatory attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon and its proxy militias elsewhere. Despite this, Iran has sent reinforcements to aid Assad, including Iraqi militias such as the Kataib Hezbollah and Fetamiyun. On the other hand, Turkey, which shares a border with Syria, has become a pivotal player in the conflict. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has announced plans to establish a safe zone along with Syrian border, pushing Kurdish forces out of key areas. Erdogan's ambitions are rooted in Turkey's existential struggle against Kurdish separatists, whom Ankara views as a threat to its sovereignty. On the other hand, the United States continues to back Kurdish forces in Syria, considering them essential in the fight against ISIS. This dynamic pits Turkey against the US indirectly, as Turkish-backed militia target areas controlled by the US-supported Syrian Democratic Forces, a Kurdish-led coalition. Kurdish leaders, meanwhile, are scrambling to evacuate civilians from areas under siege to safer regions in Syria's northeast. Amid these developments, Russia and Iran have reiterated their support for Assad. Following a call between Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and his Turkish counterpart, Hakan Fidan, Moscow emphasized Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. However, these statements appear to do little to hold the group at advance, as Russian airstrikes alone may not be able to turn the tide. Iran, despite its trained capacity, has deployed fresh militias from Iraq to bolster Assad's troubled forces. The situation underscores Assad's reliance on external allies to maintain control, even as both Russia and Iran face significant internal and external pressures. The fall of Aleppo to insurgents symbolizes a critical challenge for Assad, whose forces appear increasingly unwilling or unable to fight. It is noted that the opposition's unexpected success has emboldened their push towards Damascus, a move that could potentially destabilize the region further. The Syrian conflict, already a proxy battleground for global powers, risks further escalation, while Turkey seeks to neutralize Kurdish forces. Russia and Iran aim to preserve Assad's regime. The United States, meanwhile, remains focused on preventing an ISIS resurgence. As these competing agendas collide, the Syrian people continue to bear the brunt of the violence, with hundreds of thousands displaced or under siege.